Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's time now for Daybreak and 10 on Color 10.
We are on the air with you for the next 10 minutes without commercials beginning right now. And first, let's head on over to meteorologist TJ Springer with a look at our forecast. Good morning, TJ.
Not as cold out there this morning, guys. Hopefully your day is going well so far. And for all of you, too, we are starting off on a chilly note, not too shabby. We are only 8 days away from Christmas. Wanted to put that in your mind. Hard to believe that we're that close. Feels a little more wintry along the East Coast as a major storm has been developing. And we're clear here pretty much in the plains in the upper Midwest. High pressure moving in that will help the cloud cover break on up, but nothing like what really the Northeast has seen over the last 24 hours. Still seeing snowfall this hour throughout parts of upstate New York and Massachusetts. Boston has been seeing snow all morning. Along the I-95 corridors where it's been the worst and off to the north and west, winter storm warnings still in play. Some spots have picked up nearly 4 feet of snow, possibly over that as the snow continues to come down. We are not seeing the snow here in the Springfield metro, but we do have some of that cloud cover out there, so don't be shocked if you don't see a lot of sunshine to begin your day. Temperatures are in the 20s, 30s though in the metro, 28 in Camden, Tim. We're also in the upper 20s throughout Harrison, Arkansas, as well as Branson. It does feel more like the teens and 20s when you factor in that lighter wind from the south, which will help our temperatures warm up back above average for this time of the year. And we'll see more sunshine by the afternoon. But a cold front does move in later on this week, and it does bring the chance for some rain. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little while.
And we want to get back to this breaking news and let you know again, the Republic Police Department is asking for your help in finding a missing teen. 14-year-old Noah Goes was last seen at home between 11:30 Wednesday night and 1:30 this morning. He's 5'9" and has short brown hair and hazel eyes. Was last seen wearing a pair of Star Wars pajama pants and a black hooded sweatshirt. You should contact authorities if you have any information about his possible whereabouts. In some other local news for you, there's a new funding for local nonprofits that are struggling during this pandemic. Nigel McDonald is here in studio to tell us more about this help. Nigel, good morning.
Yeah, Joe, good morning. Community Foundation of the Ozarks has created a loan program for organizations with missions focused on conservation and environment, animal care and advocacy, and arts and culture. Now, the minimum an organization can request is $20,000 and a maximum of $50,000. Leslie Forrester is the executive director of the Springfield Arts Council and says the group has had to cancel Art Fest for the first time in 40 years this year. She says this help would mean a lot for groups like hers.
The arts generate about $26.9 million in economic activity just in Springfield alone. So it's a really important part of our community economy and a part of our community in general. In COVID, we're also talking a lot about mental health and ways that we can take care of ourselves even in isolation. And often those things are in the arts. We're watching more movies, we're engaging in new creative activities and ways to engage our minds while we're alone or in really small groups.
Well, the deadline for loan applications is January 15th. At that point, a committee will review submissions and then recipients will be announced February 1st. You can visit our website at ozarksfirst.com for a link to apply.
In delivering the dose coverage this morning, with the first doses of a COVID-19 vaccine having been administered in Missouri, the state is now sharing its guidance on who should and shouldn't get it. There are 2 doses of the vaccine, and they will be administered 21 days apart. If you don't receive the second dose at 21 days, patients are recommended to get it as soon as possible. The state says if you are pregnant, if you have had COVID-19 with symptoms or without, and are out of isolation, you can get vaccinated. But it does not recommend people get the vaccine if they are under the age of 16 or have a serious reaction to the first dose of the vaccine. Dr. Randall Williams tells us he hopes people will seriously think about getting the vaccine.
We hope every Missourian will consider getting this vaccination. Both the scientists at Pfizer, the internal scientists and external scientists at the FDA approved it. Then the advisory council approved it. Then the FDA itself approved it. Then it got to Missouri, and we looked at it this weekend with various people, and we approved it to be safe. To get to herd immunity, which would be about another 3 million people, that if we could get people to take the vaccine, Tony Fauci, Dr. Slowey, others think that we could get there by June.
The state of Missouri says you still must practice COVID-19 precautions to prevent further spread of the virus, even if you do get the vaccine.
And some other news from around the region for you. Some Arkansas renters are fed up with the eviction laws in the state. Several renters gathered outside Governor Asa Hutchinson's community in Rogers to protest this week. Many were holding signs asking for things like rental assistance and for these evictions to be stopped.
There has been an epidemic in Northwest Arkansas and in Arkansas in general of evictions during the COVID outbreak because people have lost their jobs and were unable to get new jobs.
Protesters said they want evictions stopped into the new year. Keep in mind, the CDC's national moratorium on evictions is set to expire on January 1st.
Governor Mike Parson is proposing more money in the budget for Missouri's A+ scholarship program. In total, the program would receive an additional $10.1 million. That would include $4.9 million in CARES Act funding and $5.2 million in supplemental funding. According to the governor's office, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused more students to utilize the program than originally expected, meaning community colleges are facing a shortfall.
And some news around the Ozarks, that's where you'll see, there we go, Mike Parson. He's all over Southwest Missouri today, starting off in Neosho shortly after 10 to visit the Lazy Boy facility. Then he'll go to Monette at 11:45 to take part in a ribbon cutting event for a new manufacturing company expansion. He then goes to Springfield at 1:30. He'll speak at Missouri State's McQueary Health Sciences Hall dedication ceremony. The new hall will help expand room for the university's nursing program.
And we have a reminder of something we told you about yesterday. You can support the Salvation Army today at an event being held at the Branson Ice Rink. Branson Fire Chief Ted Martin and Police Chief Jeff Matthews will compete in turkey bowling. They will roll frozen turkeys into bowling pins on the ice rink. Community members are encouraged to bring non-perishable food items or cans to fill the red kettle. Details can be found at bransontracks.com.
You may recall earlier this week we told you about James River Church handing out Christmas gifts to kids at Westport Elementary. The church back at it today. JRC will be visiting Bowerman and Williams Elementary Schools to hand out more gifts to students, teachers, and administrators. In total, more than 800 will be able to celebrate Christmas a little early this year because of James River Church.
And now here's a look at what's coming up after daybreak.
Coming up, for millions, it's the biggest storm of the year. The latest details on a dangerous nor'easter, plus more encouraging news in the fight against coronavirus. A vaccine surprise that can save lives. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
And we take a look at what's trending right now. If you go anywhere, there's a lot of people talking about stimulus checks right now, guys. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are negotiating a $908 billion coronavirus relief package. It now includes stimulus checks that would amount to about $600 or $700 per person.
It also includes $300 a week in federal unemployment benefits for the next 4 months and $80 billion for schools and billions more for vaccine distribution and rental assistance. This will help a lot of people, especially those who have been unemployed. We have seen many industries like restaurants, the arts, who haven't been working all year. So that money will come in handy and help them out. $300 a week for unemployment benefits. It's not, you know, a lot of the comments online or people are saying it's not enough, but something is something. Hopefully it helps some families out there.
Even that first round was a huge help. I mean, that was...
Absolutely.
I mean,
Certainly.
that was, yeah, every little bit does.
So they're still working to that. There's progress made. Josh Hawley is actually one of the senators that's been getting some credit for being able to work with the other side of the party, just like Bernie Sanders has been getting some credit as well to work. So we'll see and keep you updated, of course, on ozarksfirst.com if that happens. Also worth noting, the government is set to have a shutdown by the end of the day tomorrow. So the president does need to sign some form of spending bill in order to be able to keep the government funded and those unemployment benefits coming for people that are still getting them.
Yes, yeah, it's a lot to keep up with, especially at the end of the year. They're running out of time.
Holidays.
And people need help. Yeah,
Most definitely.
We'll definitely keep an eye on that. But back here home locally, we're watching the weather. Some shower chances and a warm-up on the way soon.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing like what the Northeast is seeing, guys.
Oh, my
I've been
goodness.
talking. I mean, that's a huge national weather headline. We are tracking some rain, though, as the cold front moves in later on Friday night into Saturday. Could bring some showers. We start to to warm back up Sunday. Our first day of winter, at least officially, is Monday. We're not going to feel anything like it. We're back into the 40s, guys, by Wednesday.
I like seeing that sunshine on there, too.
Yes, right?
Thanks, CJ. Thanks for starting your day with Daybreak.